This Liberty Sports Update is brought to you by Beacon Credit Union.
Coach, as you get ready for the start of another season with all the expectations here, how have you kind of helped the guys manage those coming into the season, and also how much does it help having a veteran group as far as that goes?
Well, I think the expectations are neat for our guys. I think it's a small compliment to the hard work and the labor that many have partaken in for us to get our program to a point where we're starting to get a little bit of national attention. I think having the opportunity to coach at Liberty affords you the ability to get great student athletes that are high character, and I think that's what we have. So I don't know if I've done anything in particular that would help them manage expectation, because I think if you're a competitor, I think you'll have expectations of yourself and of your team that are really high. So I feel like it's kind of outside noise at the moment. Our mantra is to just get better every day, and hopefully we're in pursuit of that.
With Caleb coming back this year, I was just talking to him a minute ago, and if everything had played out without the injury, he would have graduated last year with Lavelle. Now coming back this year, and just kind of talking about his faith and how everything's kind of played out, it's really all kind of come together for the greater good in the long run.
Yeah, first of all, I get a little bit queasy when you talk about Caleb graduating. You mentioned some of the experience that we have, and boy, he's such a security blanket. Like, he's offensively, he can score in without having a play ran for him, and he's not the only one on our team. But I think it's neat for him, all that he's endured over the course of his college career. Even if you go back to his senior year of high school, I think he's got a really neat story, and most of it will be represented in what people can see when he's putting baskets in the bucket. But for us that have lived in community or in family, the growth that we've seen is inspiring. Like, that young man is a phenomenal representative of himself, his family, and our basketball program and our university. So really proud of him. But we've got a myriad of guys that are like that, and Scotty James, who I think has made as big of an impact on our program, and it's maybe quick rise as anyone. I'm going to be sad to see him go, and Mayo Baxter-Bell and Georgie. Like, this time, whatever press conference before senior night will be really hard, because those dudes they're special.
You do lose Lavelle from last year. How do you account for his loss, particularly on the defensive end?
Hard to replace Lavelle. I don't think there's anyone will ever know the magnitude of his contribution on the defensive end. He was so confident, so quick, and so versatile. But Elijah Cuffy has been, first of all, we're better as a team. The longer you're in the pack defensive system, the better you get at it. I don't know if that'll be reflective of our first game against Radford or our first three games, but I do think as the season wears on, you'll see a team that's better defensively. But Elijah Cuffy's been outstanding, not good, outstanding on the defensive end early in the season. I think that's a challenge that he's really embraced. So I hope he continues to grow in that area, because he makes a huge impact without scoring a point, and he's very capable of that.
With what you bring back in the additions, is this the most versatile team you feel like you've had?
Good question, Matt. I think it's a versatile team that can be positionally versatile. Yet I think in the context of the way I think of being versatile is your offensive scoring be spread out amongst a bunch of different guys. And we had that last year. This year, I'm not sure we're going to look the same in terms of our versatility that way. But I do think we've got some really good pieces, and I love our guys. So I think we'll have a chance to be competitive.
From the last time we talked to you at that first practice until now, what areas of growth did you see maybe most from your team during that span?
Well, Miles now 6'4.5" instead of 6'4.25". No, that's not what you're asking. I just think, again, we're a work in progress. I think all of us are, as people, as players, as believers. So I've seen improvement I heard it described great the other day. Another word for discipline, because sometimes there's a negative connotation with discipline. Another really good word for that is consistency. And I think we're finding a little bit more consistency, but that's in practice. So now that the games come, especially against a really, really good team like Radford in our opener, we're going to see some areas of weakness exposed. And how we reel that in and sharpen it up and grow from there, I think will really be the determining factor in our improvement. So although I think we've improved, I think we're getting a little better every day. It's hard to really tell until you have consistent games.
We've seen it time after time where a team will leave a league, and then because of stubbornness or whatever, some of those rivalries just die. The schools don't play each other anymore. How did you guys kind of reestablish this series with Radford and kind of get this back on the schedule?
Kyle Getter worked for both Mike Jones and for our program, so he was the one that struck up the initiative of playing Radford again, and he's now at UVA, and I'm mad at him for doing it because Radford's really good. But you know what? I think it's really, if you were at that 2018 championship game, I think it's a really fun rivalry. And the crowd was into it. It was all red in the building, and I just think that atmosphere is really good for everyone who gets to partake in it. So Coach Jones is a phenomenal coach. Like what they've done in their program, how consistent they are, I admire their work. And they have the same backcourt that started in that game 2 years ago against us. So, yeah, we're experienced, but so are they. And I think that'll be a great challenge and should be a fun game to be a part of.
Coach, with all the media and national media attention, do you like that or do you prefer to be the underdog?
I would prefer that we always have a deep sense of gratitude for where we are, and always kind of have more of a blue-collar mentality than a white-collar one.
How have you seen the fan support here at Liberty just within the last 2-3 years change?
Yeah, not unlike the first time I was here, albeit we had Seth Curry, and he was a big ticket himself. It grew steadily. Like last year, the North Florida game, the Lipscomb game, we had some Georgia State. I think we had a really good crowd. I think as our program has had a little bit more success, I think the fans have come out more. When our students are there, we have a great home court advantage. So I hope we can get a bunch of people out this year in commemorating the last season in the Vines, the 30-year conclusion, if you will. But I also hope our community comes out. Like in the tournament, it's funny, there's a restaurant that my wife and I like to go to. I don't know if I can say the name because they don't pay me. But anyway, this restaurant, the guy, I had a takeout order, and the guy said, yeah, we were all watching. Matter of fact, we were right here watching the NCAA tournament, and when you guys played Mississippi State and Virginia Tech, that's kind of cool when people in the community have latched on to maybe representing Liberty gear when our team is doing well. Like that's neat for us because we feel like we'd love to be a part of the whole community, not just on the campus here on the mountain.
I know you tell your players to move on from last year and all the success that you guys had, but as a coach, is that difficult when you have one of the more successful seasons and accomplish so much that this program has never done?
Yeah, I think it's difficult because you yearn for more, and 29 wins is really hard. Like I think it'd be senseless to compare the numbers of whatever we did last year to whatever we do this year. But I think and having been at the University of Virginia with Tony Bennett, I think having a long view is really important to just your own peace and your own contentment. Like as long as we keep growing and pursuing where we want to be as people and as a program, then I think that will be our barometer of success, if you will. That being said, like I know our guys want to go back to postseason play because it's really fun when you're a part of something as neat as the big dance.
Guys talked about the pillars of the program when they were in here earlier. I was wondering if you could kind of speak to that and how that's really shaped the culture around here.
Dick Bennett, who's my coaching mentor, a life mentor, had these 5 pillars that UVA has. There's a multitude of programs that have embraced them, and the first time I was here, we did the same. But God put on my heart to be different this second time around, and we just prayed as a coaching staff, support staff, about what did we want our program to be about? What did we want it to stand on? So we chose 4 pillars that had a definition beneath each of them, and we really used them in terms of the way we make decisions in recruiting players and staff, the way we want to pursue our life goals on and off the floor. And they're simple: play hard, compete, give your very best, play smart, accountability and discipline. Every detail adds up. Play together. That's a we over me, and play with purpose. An audience of one, and that audience of one is just living out of what God's word says about us. And I think there's an incredible sense of grace and freedom when you're living that way, and I think that can carry over to your performance as a basketball player.